That was a horrible day at the office. We didn't do much right in that game, to be quite honest with you. So we got to own that, obviously, starting first and foremost with me. Um, just losing football really was.
Come on, Mike. Tell us something that we don't know. We know it was bad football, but tell us why it was bad football. Yo, welcome to another episode of Coach Walker TV. Today, I have a very special guest, big time Steeler fan, and we're going to talk about why the Steelers just couldn't beat a 2-10 Cardinals team. Let's get into it. All right, just like I said, got a special guest today, big time Steeler fan. Actually, my cousin, love the Steelers. He might like them more than I do. JJ Walker, man, say what's up to the people, man.
Going on? What's going on, man?
Everything is all good, man. But look, we're gonna get right on it and talk about these Steelers and how they lost to the 2-10 Cardinals at home. So here's my thing. To me, the game plan looked the same as it did last week. As we know, Canada's been out. So what did you think about the game plan today? And did you think the game plan was similar to what we've been doing in the past?
I mean, to me, I just think we it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds. I think we ran the ball well. We was, as a team, I think Najee and Warren were running the ball well. I think the line was blocking well in terms of the run game. I just think that there was a lot of just self-inflicted wounds. I mean, we couldn't snap the ball. The center Mason Cole, he kept snapping the ball on the ground. A lot of offensive penalties, defensive penalties, bad field position. I just think it was just a lot of self-inflicted wounds, more than the game plan. I think we drove the ball down the field, well for the most part when Kenny was in there, and even when Mitch was in there a little bit. So I just think it was just more just self-inflicted wounds to me.
Gotcha. I can agree with that a little bit, man. I mean, just taking a look at some of the stats from today, man. I'll just start with some of these team stats. I mean, total yards was up again this week, 317 total yards. Now, I will say the amount of plays that we were able to get was only 58. Last week we were like in the 70s when it came to like the total amount of plays. We did have the one turnover with the fumble on the snap, and that can hurt you in the turnover ratio as far as like, losing the turnover battle today. But then, we only had the ball for 30 minutes, so it was almost like equal time of possession. So the defense didn't get a chance to rest like they did last week. So, I mean, the run game was close to. Well, I would say last week run game was better with Najee getting 16 for 63 and averaging 3.9. That's what he's looking like he's averaging this year, which is not a bad average. You know what I mean? But Jalen Warren only had 9 carries for 59 and was averaging 6.6. So, I mean, the game plan, like I said, to me looked a lot the same. And I can agree with you with the self-inflicted wounds. That's not going to help us. That's not going to help the Steelers win games. And to lose to the 2-10 team is pretty bad. And it might be on Tomlin, man. So we're going to touch on that here in a second, man. All right, so with the game plan looking similar, and yes, some self-inflicted wounds, like you said, a turnover here. We did get the ball to Pickett. To Pickens, sorry. We got the ball to the tight ends a couple times. But here's my question for you, man. With the game plan looking the same, and it seemed like there was no big changes there, what do you think was the problem today outside of the self-inflicted wounds? Is it a Tomlin thing? Because right now it looks like a team thing. I mean, you let a 2-10 team come into Pittsburgh after coming off a high last week and winning a big game, getting Canada out of there, which we all thought was a big problem, and then we turn right around the next week. The 2-10 Cardinals come to town, and we get beat by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's a Tomlin thing. I think we've seen this, over the years with Tomlin, where he loses these type of games, games where, you're supposed to win. I know it's the NFL and, every Sunday you got to come and play, but, he tends to lose these games against, teams that have, worse records than we do, and like far worse records. And I think it's just a Tomlin thing. I don't know if it's just a thing where his teams, get too high when they, win a big game, and, when they face a lesser team, they kind of take them lightly. I think that has to be, something that's going on, because we've seen it for years, whether it's in the regular season or whether it's in the playoffs. Like I said, there's multiple times in the playoffs where they've lost. Like the biggest one is against the Jaguars when they had Blake Bortles that year, and they came into the
Yep.
Heinz Field and just punked us. And so you just go back to multiple games like that, man. And I think it's just a Tomlin type of thing that he does, or that he has on his teams, where they play down to their competition.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that, man. That's the thing. You play down to your competition, that's going to bite you in your butt every time, man. So let me ask you a question. Are you in favor of Tomlin staying the head coach, or Tomlin, are you in the fire Tomlin crowd next?
I mean, I think for me, you know, I think it's just time to maybe try to start looking for a new head coach. I think, yes, Tomlin is a good coach, yes, but he has been there for a very long time, and everybody wants to throw around, he's never had a losing season, but the guy hasn't won the playoffs in years. I mean, I think the last playoff game he's won was in 2016, and
Mm,
so it's like in any other organization he would have probably been fired by now because he's not winning in the playoffs, and we haven't been to the playoffs in a couple of years now. So and I just think with the way the league is going, it's going more towards offensive coaches, and I think when you have a young quarterback, you need to look or have an offensive head coach to who knows what he's doing in terms of bringing in a new system and trying to develop quarterbacks. And I think Tomlin is a defensive guy, and I don't think he really knows how to develop a young quarterback, or what coaches to bring in to surround a young quarterback so that he keeps progressing. I don't think he knows, or that's his expertise, as we've seen when he brought in Matt Canada, a guy who's never coached in the NFL, doesn't have any ties to the NFL. He moved around in college, so he really had no business being in the NFL. And so when you look at a hire like that, it makes you question, you know, does Tomlin really know what he's doing when he, to develop a young quarterback, or to, bring in or have a better offense? Does he really know what he's doing? And so, just things like that is why I think, maybe it's time to move on from Tomlin.
I feel you, man. And I'm not quite there yet. On my side, I feel like I don't know if there's a guy out there that's going to be better than Tomlin right now. I'm not saying it won't be next season or a couple of seasons from now, but I mean, he still figures out ways to win, and I'll agree that he cannot somehow these games where you're supposed to win or win it. I call them winnable games. They somehow find a way to lose them. So last thing here, despite all of that, losing to the Cardinals again today, 2-10 Cardinals, winning last week. Got the Patriots coming up on Thursday night, short week. Should be another interesting game. Thought we said winnable games, but now we don't even know if these are winnable games. Pickett, Kenny Pickett went down today. We don't know what his diagnosis is going to be. Not saying that Mitch is not capable, but they're the same guy to me right now. Either one of them can work. But lastly, the Steelers are still 7-5 with a shot to win the division. What do you think about that?
Yeah, they are still 7-5. I just they did bring Miles Jack back. They did bring in Blake Martinez. A couple of linebackers. Because the Steelers have been hit hard in terms of the injury bug. In terms of at the linebacker position, like today they had fourth and fifth string linebackers playing today. So I think that was why you saw James Conner go off today. But yeah, we are still 7-5. We still have a shot to win the division. We're still in the playoffs. We're looking at the wild card position right now. But I don't know, man. I think just with the way this team plays, with Kenny, I think Kenny just. I don't think Kenny's like a tough guy. I think he just, he gets hurt too much and he doesn't come back in the game. Kenny, when he gets hurt, he doesn't come back in the game, but next week he's able to play. So my thing is, okay, if you're able to play next week, you weren't able to come back in the game. And so it's just how hurt are you? Do you not understand that, these games in the regular season, the NFL matter. You can't just leave the game and then you lose and then think you want to come back the next week and think everything's okay. It's not how it works. So I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know if Kenny's the guy in terms of just his toughness and his competitiveness. And like I said, going forward, we are 7-5, man. But I don't know, man. the quarterback situation is just rough for me to really have any confidence in this team right now.
Yeah, well, hey, it looks like it's going to sound like another Tomlin special, another winning season, make the playoffs and lose in the first round, lose in the wild card round. And, hey, well, Tomlin still, is a winning coach. He's winning season. Yeah, but, the regular season, as we know, it counts, but it only counts because you're trying to make it to the tournament at the end, man. But look, JJ, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. I think we're definitely going to have you back, man. We'll see what the people think about you and what you know about the Steelers. But, hey, guys, I will say this guy loves the Steelers, man, and he knows a whole lot about them. And but yeah, we'll definitely have you back. We'll see how the season ends up, man, and we'll see what happens on Thursday night, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there you have it. You heard it here first from our man JJ Walker. He wants Tomlin out of there. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and let me know what y'all think, man. Let's have a conversation about this. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.